Konnichiwa, this is T Sakura, and you're watching Pokecast. Today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Dragon Ball: The Magic Begins. And this is probably... I'm actually very excited about this, just because when it comes down to it, this is the best live-action version of Dragon Ball you can get right now. Hands down. Of course, there's some unique, funny stories about it, but I'll definitely be getting into those. Now, we all remember what happened back a few years ago with Dragon Ball Evolution. This is nothing like this. This was actually before this. So this is, of course, like I said, Dragon Ball: The Magic Begins. This was directed by John Ling, and music was done by Alan Coe. This was released in Taiwan in 1991, and then finally in the U.S. on October 30th, 2007. So it's been a little while to get over here to the United States. But man, when I saw this, I was on Netflix. I had to instantly get it from them and watch this, because I had to watch a movie that was good, a fun movie, a movie that actually understood. This is what you do to keep the feel of the movie, but you can still change things, but the fans won't be mad at you for doing that. And this is exactly what they did in this movie. You know, they introduced new villains that were never introduced into the anime or manga, but they kept all the original characters the same. Of course, the sad part is we don't get Poir in this movie. However, we do get all the other ones. And at least one of the costumes were kind of weird, but it works for, them going that way. Now, before I get into what the movie was all about, I want to talk about the funny thing that happened. This movie was originally released, they got all the rights to it in Taiwan, and they were able to enjoy themselves making it, and they actually used all the original names that they used in Taiwan for the characters, because some of the names had to be changed because of just, that's what they do in other countries sometimes, is that they can't use certain names, and they make it a little easier for it to translate more over into the language. And that's what they did. Now, in 2007, it did get a dubbed version of this here in the United States. Unfortunately, the company that brought it over to the United States was not Pioneer, nor Funimation, nor any of the other companies that previously owned the rights to Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. Therefore, when this movie was actually brought to the United States, it's called Dragon Crystal, I believe. The Magic Begins, or just Dragon Crystal. All because in the English language, they did not get the rights to the Dragon Ball rights at all, because they were already owned by different companies. Therefore, if you watch the movie in English, you will hear Dragon Crystal, and all the names except for Goku-san have been changed. Luckily, they're allowed to use Goku-san because it's not Goku in English. So, when you do watch this dubbed, it will make no sense because everything has been changed. So, when you do get this one, unfortunately, for those who do not like watching subtitles, you have to watch the subtitles for it to actually be a good movie. That is the only downside about this movie, is that they did not have the rights to release this in the United States for the company who brought it to the United States and dubbed it. Hopefully Funimation will buy this from them and correct that for the other people who cannot watch subtitles or just can't stand it, will have the opportunity to see this fantastic movie here in the United States, since our laws are stupid about that type of thing. Okay. Basically, for anybody who's actually watched the first season of Dragon Ball, this movie actually follows it very well. You have, and instead of it being the Emperor coming to, become, the Emperor of the King of the World type wish, instead we have an evil being who wants to become the King of the World that attacks a village, gaining that. Now we get to meet Goku and... Well, all the characters. Here's the cool thing. I'm going to name all the characters they have in the movie and show you the pictures of them. And I'll kind of do, like the only ones that I can have to say about you have to have some poetic licensing on, but they at least did it. The first one, of course, is Yamcha. You know, they didn't want to do the original costume from him from Dragon Ball, so they made him more of a, you know, he's a thief. He has a lot of money. Why not have glamorous looking clothing to this type of era, how they did it? And that's what they did. They changed his costume around. And like I said, unfortunately, Poor is not in the movie. But that's okay. It works. Next, of course, there's Grandpa Gohan. This old man was fantastic. He, in my opinion, played a perfect Gohan. He was fantastic, and it was just fun watching him. Next, of course, is Son Goku. This was honestly the only way they could do it with him being a child in this movie. Of course, he is a teenager in this movie, so you know just how it works in live action. But he works. He's fun to do, you know, to watch, and it's a great one. Next, of course, is Bulma. Absolutely fantastic, I thought, on the actress. She played the part perfectly. She knew how to do it just right, and I really enjoyed it. The next one, of course, is Master Roshi. We finally had a Master Roshi that made sense. He's bald. He has a turtle on his back. He's perverted. I mean, he is just what we hoped him to be. Unlike the other Master Roshi, who has hair, no turtle shell, and what the heck was they thinking? The last one, of course, is Oolong. Now, Oolong, they made him look, well, instead of him just being how he always was, they made him into a black pig, and he's definitely a taller person. So he's more like a demon than he is a pig, but he still does the shape-shifting, and he's in the movie. That was really cool to actually see him portrayed and actually have all of his abilities. So that was really cool. And then, of course, unfortunately, we don't have Piccolo in this one. But Piccolo and Goku aren't from the same planet from outer space, like they are in the other one. Really, when it came down to it, they did a great job of showing this could be done in live action. They did a really good way of showing off the movie, doing everything inside the movie exactly how it was meant to be. And I'm very pleased that they were fans that made the movie and understood, I'm a fan. We can change this much. The fans won't get mad. I can introduce new characters that look like they could have been in the anime or a alternate movie, the OVAs, and then fans will not get mad. I think this director understood this is how we have to do it, and he did it well. For all of you out there who are looking for a fantastic Dragon Ball movie, check this one out. It is way, way better than Dragon Ball Evolution, done by an American who was not a fan. He was just trying to make money off of us fans and didn't give a crap about our feelings. This director, however, was a fan, cared about it because he wanted to make a movie for himself, for his kids, for everybody out there, and he lived true to that. So, one I can highly recommend. It's available on Netflix on disc space only, as far as I know. Definitely worth watching because they did a great job on it. So, definitely a 10 out of 10 on this movie, I thought. Of course, always like to hear what you guys think about this movie for all of those who have seen it. Definitely leave some comments about this because I'm curious to hear what people think about this one. So this has been T Sakura reviewing Dragon Ball: The Magic Begins. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Ciao and sayonara.